Hey everybody, I'm Becki Adams. Thank you for stopping by the Scrapbooking Cards Today YouTube channel. Today I'm creating a layout using the simple vintage fresh snow collection, as well as this sketch from the fall winter 2024 issue of Scrapbook and Cards Today magazine. So I did a couple of things before I turned my camera on. I cut out these hexagons using cardstock from the Simple Vintage Fresh Snow collection, and then the white cardstock is a simple a color vibe cardstock also from Simple Stories. So I'm going to create this layout kind of a little bit backwards. I've pulled out several different pattern papers that I like as a possibility for my background, but I'm not actually going to choose which background I'm going to use until the very last step of this layout. So as you saw in the sketch, you saw that the main portion of the sketch is a hexagon shape right in the middle of the page. Then there are also two 3x4 photos. I decided to change things up, and the story that I wanted to tell today, I just had one photo of. So instead of using two 3x4 photos, I'm using one 4x6 photo. What I love about this sketch and this layout is that it was so simple. You guys, this layout came together in probably less than a half an hour from start to finish, from the time like I had my photo in hand to the time that I had a completed layout. It's so fun to work with a sketch that is just simple, easy, and makes the creative process so much fun. So here's the sketch again. There are two kind of sections of embellishments, one in the top right of the hexagon and one in the bottom left. And then there's also a really large title in the sketch. And in the sketch, the title has several words to it. I decided to just go with one big word. And this is a piece of chipboard from the Simple Vintage Fresh Snow collection. And I'm just adding, so I peeled the adhesive off the backing because I find if I want a stronger adhesive or I want to pop it up, I just add my own adhesive and then I know it's going to stay in place. So I added my own pop dots. These are pop dots from Scrapbook Adhesive by 3L. They are my favorite dimensional adhesive. So I'm using those to pop this title up just a little bit. And you might notice that I didn't remove the backing on all of those, the foam adhesive. And I do that, it's just personal preference. I want that title to stay in place, but I don't necessarily want it to stick to my photo. So I put put the adhesive there so the title doesn't sag, but then I don't remove the backing because I don't want it stuck to my photo. So I just added a little bit of journaling there at the top. I print my journaling at home. I just printed it on white printer paper. And since I'm using a white background, I didn't even cut it into strips or anything. The white paper on the white cardstock just kind of makes it blend in. So now that I have my photo, my title, and my journaling in place, it's time to jump in and play with some embellishments. So I have a few die cuts that I pulled from the Simple Vintage Fresh Snow collection. I believe there are probably 3 or 4 different die cut packs, maybe even 5 with this collection. One of them is a mixture of like winter florals, and that's where I pulled most of my embellishments for this layout. I thought that kind of the cool wintry vibe with some, pine cones and fresh pine sprigs were so pretty and went well with this photo of my husband and I standing in the snow. So I'm just taking a few minutes here with some foam adhesive, some tape runner adhesive, and just tucking these flowers in and around my photo in that bottom left corner, and then also in the top right corner. And remember how I previously said I haven't chosen my background yet? So nothing is adhered to the background. Everything is just adhered to these hexagons at this point. And I'm keeping it that way so that I can go through and choose my background when I finish the layout. I often do that with a design like this where I have like a big center piece of paper that kind of everything is either on it or surrounding it. And I just can't make up my mind exactly which paper I want to use for the background. So I'll do this often. I keep that pattern paper or a piece of pattern paper there on the background because I want to, keep that 12 by 12 measurement and make sure that I'm not creating something too big for the layout. And then like right here, I'm putting some foam adhesive on the back of that die cut so that I can adhere it, but I just haven't removed the backing yet. These stack and sort trays are an awesome addition to my craft room. These come from our friends at scrapbook.com. So I can just go through and, all the little bits and pieces that I want to work with from a collection, I just throw them into that tray and set it there on my desk. And then I have everything right at my fingertips and my crafting space stays nice and tidy. And it's really nice to have just a few products to focus on. I don't know about you, but sometimes if I have too many products on my desk, I get a little overwhelmed and it kind of slows down my creative process. So these stack and sort trays are a great way to, kind of organize yourself and sort things out so that you can just jump in and just create. And I'm having so much fun just tucking all of these little bits and pieces in around my photo and that hexagon to make sure that I have a really pretty, nice, balanced design. So to kind of finish off the embellishment part of this layout, I have just some die cut snowflakes from the Simple Vintage Fresh Snow collection. And I'm just adding foam adhesive and creating, kind of adding some of those snowflakes there around my photo as well as around the embellishment cluster. And then last but not least, I'm wrapping up my embellishments with some of these cute enamel dots. Simple Stories has recently switched and they have some enamel dots now that are a little bit glittery. And that is what comes with the Simple Vintage Fresh Snow collection. So I decided before I added the enamel dots on that top right cluster that I needed to choose my background. So I'm just flipping through, these, I think 3 pieces of pattern paper that I have and deciding which one of them I want as the background. And honestly, I think any of these pattern papers work except for maybe the floral one that's on the back of this darker plaid. I think that one's a little too busy. But honestly, watching this back and looking at it, I don't think that there was a wrong choice to make with these backgrounds. I think that they're all super cute and would have worked really well with this design. So it's finally time to add the or put my layout together on the background paper. So I'm just using a combination of tape runner adhesive and liquid adhesive. The tape runner sticks it down right away so that it stays in place while I'm still finishing the layout. And the liquid adhesive will last longer. So to make sure and keep everything in place. I'm just going back and removing the backing of some of those pop dots that or the dimensional adhesive that I put down earlier to make sure that everything is nice and secure on my background. And then I'm also going back and just adding a few enamel dots that I wanted to embellish around those florals with on the background. And with the addition of just these couple of enamel dots, this layout is finished. So I love how quickly and easily this beautiful layout came together with the use of that awesome sketch by Allison Davis that is in every issue of Scrapbook and Cards Today magazine. I hope that you will check those bonus sketches out and that you will give this sketch and the rest of the sketches in that issue a try. They are all gorgeous. So thank you again so much for stopping by. I hope that you will come back, and I will see you here on the Scrapbooking Cards YouTube channel and on the blog a little later. Thanks for stopping by, everybody.